WROI Giant FM and streaming live on the First Federal Facebook page.
It is indeed a beautiful Friday morning. It's a little chilly, but you know it could be worse. And it's time for the First Federal program. We're joined by Todd Van Sickle. Good morning, sir.
Good morning, Moose. Yes, indeed, a beautiful Friday morning. If you like snow and cold weather, I checked out the weather forecast this morning. It's supposed to get colder today, actually.
Yeah, we're talking like a high of 23 and it's 27, so it's going to drop a little bit.
And I think snow tomorrow in the forecast for the Notre Dame football game.
Up north, yes.
So there'll be some diehards sitting out there watching the football game. And just it's going to be, we went from a beautiful fall in the 70s last week to it's hardcore winter right now.
It's indeed, and I wouldn't expect anything less.
But it's early, so maybe it's getting us out of its system, right?
Let's hope. I've heard some reports that this is just the beginning, so.
We have a special guest today, Brian Johnson. We're welcoming him from the Fulton County Community Foundation. He's the Foundation Director of Development. Welcome, Brian. You can come on in here a second here.
All right. Well, thanks for having me.
And it's going to be a great Friday, and we're talking about Giving Tuesday on the 29th here in a few minutes. So, welcome today.
Well, thanks for
You're welcome to chip in anything if you want to.
Well, I'll try to add something of value.
Seems hard to believe it's Thanksgiving week.
Oh, I know. I saw that yesterday that we were a week out, and I'm like, man, where's the year gone?
I know. We won't steal Randy's thunder. He has a great question about Thanksgiving meal, but I have kind of a follow-up question for you, Moose.
Okay.
What's your favorite, non-main entree for the Thanksgiving?
My dad's macaroni and cheese.
That dad's macaroni and cheese.
Yeah, I don't even have to think on that one.
How about you?
You gotta have dressing. That's
dressing.
my favorite. Dressing.
Do you have a special kind of dressing, Brian?
No, but I like the stuff that's more moist than
more
the
moist.
drier version.
Probably from inside the turkey rather than cooked outside.
Not partial.
Yeah. I'm a traditionalist. Like my mom used to make oyster dressing, which never really had. I like the more traditional bread and celery.
Yes, me too.
And my mother-in-law makes great cornbread dressing too. So, so I guess that and broccoli casserole. That's one of my wife's specialties. I like that. Not a lot of people have for Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
So we are celebrating Thanksgiving coming up. The AAA predicts 54.6 million people will travel more than 50 miles on Thanksgiving.
Wow. It's a long time.
That's a lot of people. Good percentage of the population. And that's up 1.5% from 2021. And this is the most people they project to travel since the year 2000.
Oh, I feel really bad because my travel's 15 feet.
Well, that's good. But stay safe. Encourage everybody to stay safe out there on Thanksgiving. And even today, the roads are a little slick. If you're not on the main roads, got a little snow and it's kind of packed down into a nice thin layer of ice out there.
Yes.
So be careful out there today. And if you're traveling on Thanksgiving Day, be careful there and be safe and celebrate family times. As you know, I've talked about, I'm a space geek to some extent, and there's a space event this week.
I know, that's why I wore my NASA hoodie today.
The Artemis 1, is that what it is? Yeah.
Yes.
Took a launch early Wednesday morning. Did you get up to see that at all?
I did not, but I watched
1:47 a.m., but I didn't either, because I figured there'd be a replay of it, because sometimes that launch window is a couple hours, and if they don't go right at midnight, then I'll go 2 o'clock, and I didn't want to wait 2 hours for it, so I did watch the replay of it, and it's pretty impressive. Night launches are awesome. I've seen a couple of night launches, and I actually saw a picture yesterday of it. Shows the entire arc over the night sky, and it's pretty impressive. It looks like a golden rainbow kind of. So that's on its way to the moon. We'll go actually 40,000 miles beyond the moon. And it's a 23-day mission where they're basically testing the unmanned spacecraft Orion and doing all kinds of things to make sure that when we do try to return to the moon with people in the spacecraft, that everything goes good. So that's kind of exciting news.
Oh yeah, I'm excited the fact that we're getting back into space further to the International Space Station, and that we're going to have men on the moon again.
That is true. Kind of the sobering part of this, though, is the Launson mission will cost over $4 billion.
Yeah.
So
Always that downfall.
Yeah, I think $4 billion is a lot of money, but anymore we become desensitized to what these dollars are because of how much our government spends. $4 billion almost seems like a drop in the bucket anymore, unfortunately.
Think about the technology that's developed through this, though, and it's probably worth it in the long run.
Oh yeah, there's all kinds of, even go back to the Apollo missions, there's so much technology that we use now. And the fact even that like our phones we have had more computing power than the computers did for the Apollo mission. And it's just kind of, if you look back at that, it's kind of almost scary to think just how on a wing and a prayer basically we flew this rocket with not too sophisticated controls to the moon and landed and came back.
Yep.
So, exciting news coming up with that. Trivia is related to Thanksgiving Day.
All right.
I'll try to wing it here because I accidentally deleted Tater's thing here. So, has to do with Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade.
Oh man, that's the one I was not expecting. All right.
What year were balloons added to the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade? 1927, 1947, 1967, 1987.
Okay.
You big fan of the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade?
Yes, watch it every year.
Yeah, I usually watch it. It's always background things. How about you, Brian?
Yeah, usually have it on somewhere.
Yeah. There's usually like a couple of local bands or something like that. I think Carmel's in it this year, actually. So, that's coming on Thursday morning, bright and early. As you get up and start making the turkey. Do you participate in the festivities of making the turkey?
I do.
You, Brian?
Not usually the turkey, but something.
Okay.
So,
Yeah, I'm kind of the gopher that just like does all the ancillary things, like go do this, go do that, go rake the leaves, something like that.
My wife will only allow me to cook turkey, so
Oh, okay.
she does everything else.
That's awesome that you do that. Do you have a special turkey kind of recipe or
No, not really.
like butter under the skin or something like that? Or
No, none of that.
That's a good thing to keep it moist, actually. I've learned from my son, so.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, we'll talk about Thanksgiving a little bit later. That's our trivia. Any thoughts on that so far?
Some.
Okay. We'll bring Tanner in now here for the sports update. Thank you, Brian. We'll talk to you in a few minutes. Sports, lots going on still. High school, college, football, basketball, NFL, NBA, hockey, you name it, we've got it.
Yeah, it's a fun time of year to be a sports fan.
Yeah.
And even baseball, I mean, they might not be playing, but MVPs were announced last night, and off-season talks are starting to heat up with free agents. So.
I saw your Aaron Judge from the Yankees, MVP.
He was MVP, and Paul Goldschmidt of the Cardinals was MVP, so we'll see where Aaron Judge goes.
Any Guardians or Cubs on there?
Coach, yeah.
That's right.
Tony Francona.
Francona.
Yeah, Francona. So he was a really good manager. Yeah.
Well, I don't want to steal your thunder. You've got some.
Yeah, but we do have some local sports. Rochester Lady Zebras got their first win of the year last night. So congratulations to them over Peru.
Yes.
Over Peru, I thought I had that right.
I was trying to watch the football game last night, but for some reason I kept reloading and streaming, so I turned on the basketball game and heard Randy making the call. It was a good call.
Yeah.
Watched a little bit of the fourth quarter.
Yeah, and they've been close in some other games of getting their first win. But finally got that first win of the coach Joe Burrow's era. So hopefully that's one of many more to come.
Let's hope.
This season. So they get the weekend off. Lady Zebras get the weekend off, I believe. No, they don't. There is a game tomorrow. They get tonight off. That's what I meant.
They get tonight off. They play tomorrow.
Play tomorrow. What time's pregame tomorrow?
I should have looked.
I remember listening to the radio early this morning, about 6:40 maybe, because they're doing the JV 2 quarters, and that may be approximate. But
I think that's right. I'm pulling it up here.
There we go. While you pull that up, I'll move down my list here. But speaking of basketball, college basketball, all big programs have been in action this week. So Butler beat St. Francis last night. Purdue beat Marquette on Tuesday. Indiana plays tonight at Xavier.
saw some interesting stats that IU has not really won a game against a competitive school on their home court like since the year 2000.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Non-conference.
Not conference, yeah. This will be a good test tonight.
Yeah.
That the Cintas Center over there will be rocking. But I gotta think IU will have a good amount of the crowd there as well.
Right.
I would think.
Probably 130 miles from
Yeah,
Wilmington.
Littleton, Cincinnati. So that'll be a good match. I think that's 6 o'clock tonight. Kind of early start.
Maybe leaving work early to get ready for that. So.
All right.
Pre-game.
Hey, he's done it before, so you're allowed.
College football is still going on. We only got 2 more weekends of regular season college football. We were kind of talking about where's the year gone. I feel like college football season always goes by fast, but this year's in a blink of an eye. I don't know. Feels
Well,
like
for some it seems like it's a long.
well, that's a good point, Todd. Good point, Todd. But your Hoosiers might have an opportunity to upset tomorrow at Michigan State. Michigan State's a 10-point favorite. The game's at noon on Big Ten Network.
I don't know if I'm going to take that bet. I followed IU enough. I don't have enough faith.
Well, it could be over under 2 quarterbacks play for IU. That might be a more good topic to follow there. But Purdue tomorrow has their senior day. They host Northwestern, who is 1-9. Purdue is a 18.5-point favorite. That game's also at noon tomorrow on Fox Sports 1.
That seems like too easy of a game. Does that worry you at all?
A little bit, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, don't give them any easy opportunities early. Get on right away. Take out their hope, but we'll see. It's going to be a cold one, but it doesn't look like there's any snow in the forecast down in West Lafayette, which is I'd rather it just be cold and not snowy or rainy.
Will you be there?
I will be there,
Okay.
so I'll be
Bundle
bundled
up.
up. But I will be there. The hot chocolate. I'll be in the hot chocolate line too at the concession stand.
The whole game.
And like Todd mentioned earlier, Notre Dame has a home game this weekend. They improved their record last week against Navy's. They're 7-3. They're 21-point favorites against Boston College, who's only 3-7, but won at then ranked 18th NC State last week.
Okay.
So their season's not going good. They pulled an upset last week. That game's at 2:30 on NBC, and there looks like there could be some snow in the forecast.
I kind of hope it does snow, because I
Yeah.
like watching football with snow.
Yeah, as long as you're not there, snow games are great.
Yeah.
I did see where the NFL moved the Browns-Bills game that was supposed to be played in Buffalo on Sunday. It looks like they're going to get up to 6 feet of snow.
Yeah.
So the NFL moved it to Detroit.
Yeah, because we were complaining. We could get that 6 feet of snow.
Yeah.
I know, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, we were going to win that. Now we'll probably
I
lose.
mean, I was laughing. There's a few players on the Bills roster that 6 feet of snow is taller than them.
Yeah.
A couple of their running backs. So
So I wondered what kind of advantage does this have for either team, because they're both kind of away games.
right.
I don't know.
I guess, it makes sense what the NFL did, moved to Detroit because the Bills will be playing the Lions in Detroit on Thanksgiving. So
And it's
that way
indoors.
They're already there, and it's indoors. You don't have to worry about the elements. I don't know how attendance is going to work there, tickets or anything like that.
Yeah. We'll have to see.
Yeah.
Could be a pretty.
Knowing Bills
interesting-
Mafia, someone will try to make the trip to Detroit if they can.
Yeah.
So,
There could be a big Brownies crowd there, because that's not too
Yeah.
far. You
Yeah.
know?
Yeah.
Just down the interstate. And
yeah.
Oh yeah.
The Colts are in action this weekend after a big win last week over the Raiders and Jeff Saturday's interim head coaching debut. So they're now 4-5-1. They host the Eagles, who were dealt their first loss of the season Monday night against the Commanders.
Yeah.
The Eagles are 6.5-point favorites. That game's at Sunday at 1 o'clock on CBS and also right here on WROI.
Yes. I'm looking forward to that. That's a game I'm going to be at.
That's right.
Oh, yeah.
That'll be a fun one.
Yeah. Got some pretty good seats, so I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah.
So your responsibility is to bring back the win then, right?
It's all on your shoulders.
No.
And the Bears lost another tough one last week to the Lions, but they're entertaining to watch, at least on offensively as of late. They traveled to Atlanta to face the 4-6 Falcons for 3-point favorites. That game's also at 1 o'clock, but on Fox. So no TV competition this week for the channels.
It's always a good thing.
Yes, it is. Well, I got a few on this day tidbits for you this morning, Moose. I know you'll like this one. On this day in 1993, WWF boss Vince McMahon was charged with steroid distribution.
Yeah.
Remember that whole trial, the
Oh,
steroid
yeah.
trial and everything?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That pretty much ruined his whole business career, because he's involved in the XFL or something like that too. or-
Yep, he's been involved in XFL twice.
Okay.
Launched it one time, went under the second time. He blamed it on COVID, but it wasn't going good the second time either.
No.
Now, Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson has bought the rights to the XFL and is trying to launch it in Is it next year or is it 2024?
I've seen reports both ways, so that's...
I guess third time's a charm. We'll see.
We'll
I
see.
don't know. He is trying to work with the NFL a little bit, though, and trying to make it more of a developmental league.
Is Vince McMahon still around doing something?
Not anymore.
No, he was as of earlier this year, but he was involved in some not so good allegations.
Okay,
That
so
the
let's
board
just drop
said
in.
the board said you're out.
Let's go into something
yes, let's go into some more positive news here. On this day, 1994, Star Trek Generations, the film premiered. You a Star Trek guy?
A little bit.
A little bit?
A little bit. I'm not a Trekkie per se, but I'll sit and watch it.
I would rather watch Star Wars over Star Trek, but I'll still sit and watch it.
Yeah.
And also on this day, 1996, 2 years later, Star Trek First Contact film premiered.
Oh.
So,
Okay.
they had
I
a
kind
good
of
little
lost
run.
track. The franfranchise is just like there's
So many
versions.
yeah.
Of
Yeah.
There's
it just
spin-offs,
keeps growing.
there's a
TV
lot.
versions, there's movie versions.
Mhm.
Yep.
And sometimes the two don't mix with each other.
Sure.
Are you a fan of the original series?
Yes.
Yeah, I do like that. That's kind of cool.
Today is Mickey Mouse Day.
Ah.
Pretty popular character out there.
Yeah.
It's National Princess Day. It's National Vichyssoise, I hope I pronounced that right, day. It's a thick soup. It's
Okay.
international. It's like a European soup. It's a thick soup, chicken broth, onions.
All right.
Forget the other ingredients.
I think you did a good job of that because I know there's people that listen to see how we pronounce it.
Oh, sure, absolutely. That's why I even looked up how to pronounce that and put it in the notes this week. It's also Housing Day.
Okay.
So anybody in the market for a house will have some First Federal Savings Bank news in our section there later. It's National Adoption Day, Apple Cider Day. You like apple cider day?
It's not bad. I mean, I'm not going to drink it all the time, but at the right time.
Good on a day like today.
Yeah, I'll drink a
chilly
cup or
outside.
two today.
And a Cult Day, which,
Let's just move on.
let's move on. Yeah.
Let's not get too deep into that.
Have some upcoming events. Fulton County Animal Center's Facebook silent auctions going on this weekend. Bidding ends on Sunday at 11 o'clock. There's some great featured items, including Chicago Bears tickets, valued at over $1,200 versus the Bills on Christmas Eve.
All right.
Big time opponent. I believe the tickets are 4 rows off the field, so
Wow.
really good tickets there.
Yeah.
Pretty cool.
To see all the speed and the noise and the hurt, actually. So they have made gift baskets, gift cards from local businesses. 100% of their proceeds benefit Fulton County Animal Center. It's a great cause, so encourage everybody to check out the Animal Center's Facebook page. Also coming up, an upcoming event is Small Business Saturday, a week from tomorrow.
Yes.
And the Chamber has some activities planned around that. Check out the Chamber Facebook page or give them a call. Kind of like I wouldn't call it a scavenger hunt, but like you could have a sheet and get stickers from businesses and be entered some prizes for Chamber dollars. So we want to support Small Business Saturday and the following week for shopping at those small businesses. So stay local, shop local.
Yep.
Money news. Dow's kind of up and down 7.5 points yesterday. What I thought was really relevant, though, was that the American Farm Bureau's 37th annual marketplace survey about the Thanksgiving feast for 10 people. Did you see this news, Lewis?
Yes, I did.
It's up 20%, up to $64 from $53 last year.
Yeah.
What I thought was interesting, I said, I wonder how much it went up from the previous year. So I looked that up, actually.
Okay, you did more research than I did.
The previous year, for 2021, it was up 14% from the previous year. So in 2 years, the Thanksgiving feast for 10 people has gone from $46 to $64.
Wow.
Wow.
And that gives a great perspective on just how inflation is and how it's really touching our lives.
Yeah.
So I notice on the news there's all kinds of tips of trying to how to save money. Some people are going to multiple stores, and I guess there's somewhat of a turkey shortage too, that people are trying to get a good price on turkey. So fitting for Randy's question this morning, maybe find an alternative for a turkey this year if you want.
Yeah.
So that's the money news. First Federal Savings Bank is open from 8:30 to 5 today, and tomorrow 8:30 to noon. We will have no radio show next week.
Correct.
Sometimes it's hard to find guests, plus also people are doing other things, being with their families, so we're going to take a week off and listen to the great music programming that will be on WROI, Giant FM.
Yeah, because I think if I remember correctly, on Friday we start one Christmas song an hour.
I was going to ask when that starts, when
So-
the holiday music's going to start
And
kicking
then the
in.
closer we get, we'll start ramping that up a little bit more. So.
Well, that's great.
See, I'm a believer. Right after Thanksgiving, it's okay to start that.
Yes.
Christmas music. I know some people are, nope, listen to it year round. I can't do that.
I
But
noticed XM, which we're not going to talk about because that started November 1st.
yeah, it's a little early, I think. But
I
teach their own.
know at midnight on November 1st, a lot of people play
Oh, sure.
Mariah Carey's
Okay.
Christmas song.
If I could just hear that a handful of times, I'm good.
I'm hoping it doesn't make it into our mix this year.
Yeah.
It does.
Probably.
Will that ever be
Popular.
classic vinyl for the 8:30 part? I don't know.
We do have some Christmas songs on vinyl.
Okay. But maybe not that one. That's kind of a new one.
Yeah, no, that one's not going to be on vinyl.
So, talking about First Federal Savings Bank today, you can bank with us online with our mobile app, which is free to download. Our ATM's open 24/7 if you need some cash. So if you're out and about next week, with the holiday week coming up, you can always find one of our ATMs. Look at online at moneypaths.com, and you can find a surcharge-free ATM. So look for that. We offer Simply Free checking accounts and Simply Free business checking accounts. When you open a new checking account, you get a free gift. Still the brownie pan right now, but that's kind of a hot item. it looks
It's a
like.
very hot item.
Yeah.
I was at our Plymouth branch yesterday, and she said they can't keep them in, which is good news. I want to hear that. That means a lot
Right.
of accounts are getting opened.
Yeah.
So a lot of people are really thrilled about this. And one lady told our retail manager in Plymouth yesterday she was going to take it and make brownies for Thanksgiving.
Hey, that's a great idea.
So we have contactless debit cards out now. You just tap rather than swipe, and it's very convenient. And actually, we had a mailer go out this week promoting use of our debit card. So use your debit card. It's a safe way to, instead of carrying money with you, to make transactions if you're buying Thanksgiving meals or starting that Christmas shopping.
Yeah.
We still have a November special going on for our home loans. For purchase loans only, a $900 discount off of standard closing costs. And that ends the end of this month, so take advantage of that now. So we'll save time for Brian now, so we'll talk about closing up the First Federal part here. We're the locally owned bank in Fulton County, and we don't want to be the biggest bank, just the best. Borrowers must meet underwriting guidelines. We are FDIC insured and an equal housing lender, and our NLS number is 399927.
And that makes us legal.
Thank you. Welcome, Brian, back to the show. Now that
Thanks.
the meat of the show.
Thanks for having me again.
This is the favorite part. Brian Johnson's here, Fulton County Community Foundation's Director of Development. Giving Tuesday's coming up.
Giving Tuesday's coming up. You're talking about some of the things going on Black Friday, Small Business Saturday. Giving Tuesday is traditionally the Tuesday after Thanksgiving, and it kind of kicks off the holiday season of giving. It's a worldwide event that celebrates philanthropy, but it's a neat way for us to kind of celebrate the things that have happened throughout the year, the things that donors have made possible throughout the year, and kind of kicks off that season and helps us share some of that information, share some good food, share some stories. Donors like to make a donation. A lot of times people are thinking of end of year giving as well, and so all those things wrap into Giving Tuesday.
Plus, there's still some incentives going on this year for Giving Tuesday.
There are. We have to say thank you to the folks out at Rapid View, Rex, Chris, and Matt, for helping us with this, what we're calling a Giving Tuesday campaign. They had a number of things that they have donated to help match, to help organizations grow their endowment funds. They had 5 organizations that they wanted to help with $5,000 each for their endowment funds. Some of them have actually met their goals, so talking about the Olive Jane Hathaway Animal Center Supply Fund. You mentioned the Animal Shelter, a wonderful organization in our community. That fund has met its $5,000 match. We're very fortunate we have an awesome park system in our community. So they wanted to help raise some funds for the Fulton County Parks and Recreation Sustainability Fund. They've met their match. We also think about some organizations like the 4-H Dog Club, training.
Yeah, something you don't hear about very often.
I got to hear one of the leaders of that group talking about how they train kids and then kids train dogs. And it's a really neat program. If you've not seen that, it's really amazing what this group of students do to help train their dogs. So they've met their match. A couple of the $5,000 matching funds that are still raising donations, Camp We Can, a camp for individuals with some unique needs, and also a GEM Art Educators Fund. That's a fund that helps support the art programs at Rochester Community Schools, K through 12, with some supplies and things that the art teachers need.
Those art supplies are very expensive, and
They
it just helps subsidize the program for more art experiences for students.
And funding is never enough for those programs, so anything that we can do to help makes it a better experience for the students and more enjoyable, and helps provide some resources for those teachers. So
there's still opportunity with the community fund.
there is still. We're a good ways into that, but we still have a few dollars left to match on our community funds, and of course those are funds that help make grants out in the community. We see a lot of things supported, things like recently a couple of big things like the splash pad and pickleball. That may have just been a hint on the preview of a couple of interviews for Giving Tuesday. So keep an ear open for that, but makes grants to things that are current needs in the community. And really the neat thing about that is we think about those dollars in Fulton County. We don't have to compete with surrounding communities for that. We know that those dollars are going to be spent in Rochester and Akron and Kewanna and Fulton and Leiders Ford and all of our local communities. And you think about the fact that this year we're approaching $300,000 in community fund grants. It's just a pretty amazing thing. So
that's awesome.
It is. So thanks to Rex and Chris and Matt for helping us promote these funds and making more grants in our community available through donations.
So we're speaking with Brian Johnson from the Fulton County Community Foundation. Giving Tuesday is coming up November 29th.
November 29th, we'll be at our office from 10 a.m. to 5:30 that day. We will have lunch served, and barbecue. About that. Good stuff. We'll have lunch from 11 to 2 that day. We'll have time if folks want to stop in and join us and have sit-down lunch. We'll also have a drive-through. I think Paul said he was going to make the weather 70 and sunny and nice. I may have exaggerated there slightly.
A little bit. It'll be 70, sunny, and nice somewhere.
Yeah. But
maybe from the comfort of your own car, but
yes, we'll have a drive-through option, so folks are coming on their lunch hour and just have time to stop by and pick up a lunch and make a donation. We'd love to have folks stop by that day and kind of learn about some of the things that they may not know that we've been able to do this year.
So this is a great opportunity if nobody's ever been to the Community Foundation to come out and meet the people, meet and greet people there. And Community Foundation is on 9th Street.
On 9th Street,
two doors down
Yeah.
from First Federal Savings Bank, so it should be easy to find.
Yeah.
Would encourage people to come out and visit the Community Foundation that day and talk with the folks that are running the Community Foundation, and it's a great opportunity. What's going on inside that day?
So we'll have a number of things going on. We always have a slideshow showing some of the things that we've been able to do. We will have WROI there live from 11 to 1. I mentioned some interviews, so listen online. You can hear some information about some of the specific projects that we've been able to support. Around the lunch hour, one thing that we've been doing for the last few years is awarding a Lifetime Philanthropy Award. So we're very excited about the recipient this year. Has made a huge impact in our community. So stay tuned. should we say, stay tuned for more details.
Yes.
The official broadcast.
So about what
Yes.
time does that happen approximately?
So the Lifetime Philanthropy Award will be a little bit after.
Okay.
So stay tuned there, or if you want to stop by the office, we will have board members available. We'll be there, and really it's a great day of celebrating the impact that donors have made, and how we can continue to do good things in our community.
The Community Foundation does wonderful things in our community, and it's kind of, if you think, a lot of communities have community foundations, but hardly any are as vibrant as Fulton County's is, with as many dollars as come in, as many people involved with it, and all the dollars that go out to various worthy causes.
Well, we try and make a big impact, and that's really without generous donors, without folks that step up and volunteer of their time and their talents, none of this would be possible. So that's really what makes it work in our community. I say this over and over: it's a very generous community, whether that be financially, whether that be time, knowledge. All those things are what makes all of these things possible. So it's really great to see our community comes together and really has a self-sufficient attitude that we can do this, and we can make the place where we live and work and play a better place for everybody.
I know Dick Belcher, our founder, used to have this quote about money sometimes, like, save some, spend some, and give some away.
Yeah.
And the Community Foundation is a great resource for that. And if you have any questions or want to know more about the Community Foundation, give Brian a call. How do they get a hold of you?
Yeah, so you can get a hold of us a number of ways. If folks are listening and they can't make it in on Giving Tuesday but want to participate in the giving, that can always be done online, nicf.org. We also have some information about the different matches that are available on there. You can give us a call, 574-224-3223. I'd also encourage folks, if you're on Facebook, check out our Facebook page, Northern Indiana Community Foundation. We'll have some special things on there leading up to Giving Tuesday as well. Or, like you said, stop by our office, 227 East 9th Street, on Tuesday, November 29th, and join us for the celebration as we kick off this season of giving.
And you got a great lunch provided.
We do.
Get some good fellowship with people from the foundation, the board members, and other people in the community, because I know a lot of people stop by, man.
Yes, yeah, we have a lot of guests in during that day, and we're looking forward to seeing everybody and saying thank you to people who have made all these grants that we think about that we're going to be celebrating this year and in previous years and in years to come possible. So it's a really great day to celebrate that.
What's great about the foundation is they're a central receiving point that will bring in dollars, and then people can go to that to discuss about grants and needs and things like that. And
yeah, and we think about, particularly with our community funds, a lot of times organizations have an idea or maybe starting up, and they have the concern about the financial aspect of it. Well, our community funds are a way that we can help a lot of organizations with immediate needs, because in the past donors have made donations with the foundation working off of endowments. So donors make a gift, that gift is invested, those earnings are what go out to support the project. So those monies are there and available for current needs. And the beautiful thing about that is you think about the foundation's been around for almost 30 years in Fulton County, and those donations that were given 30 years ago are still here working for our community. So you think about that long-term effect that donation today makes. One of my favorite quotes from one of our wise extension educators here in the community says, "When's the best time to plant a tree?" Well, 20 years ago. You think about it, it's growing now. When's the second best time? Today. So those gifts that were given 20 years ago, those gifts that are given today in the future are going to go forward and make an impact in our community long term. Just make Fulton County a better place to be for all.
that's great words of wisdom that Brian Johnson.
Well, I may have plagiarized our extension
Foundation. So remember, Tuesday, November 29th, Giving Tuesday, stop by the foundation and You can make lots of great things happen.
Yes, we're looking forward to it.
Thank you, Brian.
Thanks for having me.
Trivia. When were balloons added to the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade? The answers are, you need to hit herself again, because I inadvertently deleted it. 1927, 1947, 1967, 1987.
I know it wasn't 87.
You remember that? Were you born then?
I'm not. Well,
Okay.
I was a few months old.
Okay. You remember watching it on TV? They had balloons, right?
Yeah. They had balloons in '87. I know that. No, I really have no clue, so I'm just gonna go with the second best year listed on there, and that was 27.
Okay. Why do you pick? Why is that the second best year?
That was the year my grandfather was born.
Okay, that's awesome. Well, he probably watched it that sometime in his life, and 1927 is correct.
Really?
Congratulations.
Okay, I'll take it.
Parade started in 1924, and they added balloons at that point in time. It's kind of neat seeing old pictures of that if you ever get a chance to look at that.
Yeah. I'll have to go back and try to find some.
So, close with words of wisdom from a famous person, Oprah Winfrey. Be thankful for what you have. You'll end up having more. If you concentrate on what you don't have, you'll never have enough.
Those are great words of wisdom, Todd.
Just want to remind everybody we're taking next week off, so join us in 2 weeks.
Yep. We'll see you guys again in 2 weeks, and I'll remind everybody Friday morning that there's no first federal program.
Thank you, Bruce.
Thank you guys. We'll see you.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving.